Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called What Percentage of Marriages Are Purely Financial? Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link of today's episode on all your social media to help spread the word. Now, let's get started. Most people will agree that there are only a handful of popular reasons to get married these days. The first reason is because you're crazy in love with someone and want to be with them for the rest of your life. The second reason is because you want to start a family. The third reason is financial, purely financial. We're going to analyze these reasons and tell you what we think. First, let's look at reason number one. Getting married because you're crazy in love. People fall crazy in love all the time, but not all of them get married because of it. Some of them decide to get married because they like the legal security that being married makes them feel. That they have. Whether or not it's actually real or not is a different matter, but they like the way it makes them feel. They like the sense of knowing that there's always someone they have the support of in their marriage, no matter what happens. Someone has got their back in sickness and in health, hopefully. No matter what happens, the notion of two young people getting together when they have nothing and standing by each other to build a life and a family together out of nothing, that's really a beautiful and romantic idea, building something out of nothing. And it can be something that can still work these days if both people have the determination to make it work. Some people would argue that a big part of marriage is overcoming the day-to-day problems and obstacles that get in people's ways. The more obstacles you overcome, the stronger the marriage becomes, hopefully. If we had to estimate, then we would say that this group probably has a low percentage of people who got married purely for financial reasons. Not because they didn't need the money, everybody needs money to live, but because they came together when they both had nothing and then they stood by each other and made it work. Then there's group number two, getting married to start a family. Well, there are certainly many people each year who don't get married but still start a family. And who's to say if marriage would have made their situation better or worse? Sometimes having children will bond a couple together in a very powerful way. And sometimes it just adds so much pressure that it causes the couple to go their separate ways. But no matter why you decide to have children, once you have them, you should do everything you can to make it work for the kids and for each other. Have you ever been inside family court? I once accompanied a friend down to family court, and he was trying to work out some child support and custody issues. Now, prior to that, or since, I've never been inside a family courtroom, ever. I've been inside other courtrooms, both civil and criminal courtrooms, just to observe. When we were in college, we used to go down to the courthouse and watch murder cases, and it was really interesting to watch. Very interesting to see how people behave when their lives are on the line. But going down to family court was a different matter. When my buddy and I walked into the room outside of the actual courtroom, what we saw, or what I saw, was really disturbing. He was used to it by that point. It was a large room of people who were gathering for the hearing they were going to have with the judge and their former spouse or partner. When I tell you what I'm about to tell you, I want to make sure you understand that I'm not exaggerating. There was so much hate and acrimony in that room that you could cut it with a knife. Everywhere you looked, there were people who were either arguing with their exes or they were giving each other death stares across the room as they looked at each other. The vast majority of the people in that room were full of rage and hate and contempt for each other. I didn't see a single couple that I thought had parted ways amicably. Some of them had so much hate for each other that I thought they might start physically fighting at any second. In fact, because there was so much tension in the room, you literally had to watch who you were standing next to because anything could break out. At the time, I wondered how many of these people actually loved each other before they had a child and how many of them never really loved each other. If I had to guess what percentage of those people came together or got married because of a pregnancy, I'm guessing that percentage would be high. Now, what percentage of those relationships were purely financial? I'm guessing it has to be at least 50% of them because, that was their motivation. Today, I'm guessing that percentage would probably be much higher if we stepped into that same room. Now, let's look at group number 3. The people who get together and date or marry simply for financial reasons. Their greatest motivation or reason for being with someone is money. Maybe they need a roof over their heads. Maybe they need to be taken care of. Maybe they need help of some sort. It's easy to judge people like that and claim they're married for the wrong reasons, but you can't really judge people. On some level, most marriages are about taking care of each other in one way or another. And there's something beautiful about that, about people taking care of each other. When I see couples genuinely taking care of each other, then that always warms my heart. I think people are at their best when they're helping one another. The problem in marriages arises when one person thinks they're married because of love and the other person is just pretending to be in love, but really only interested in getting financial support. Those situations can be disastrous later on when that person learns the truth. So, if we ask ourselves what percentage of group 3 is purely financial, I would say that it's probably close to 100%, but that a small percentage of people in this group can change over time and begin to genuinely love each other. But I think, once again, that's a small percentage. That's not to say that it's good or bad or to judge in some ways. It's just that relationships in this category are probably the least secure and they probably don't last too long. I've seen poor couples stick together through illness, wars, and disasters. I've seen rich couples get divorced over what color to paint the inside of the house. Money or the absence of money in a relationship is a knife that can cut both ways. It can strengthen the bond between people or it can destroy the relationship. With that, I want to thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. We also have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word. We will see you soon. Goodbye.